Hi, my name is Haras Hilman. My team and I would like to present gravimetric analysis with the title Determination percent of water in hydrate salt. And these are the members of the group.
Hi, my name is Nurul Akilamita Halim. Now I will present about introduction hydrate salt. So what is hydrate salt? Hydrate salts are compounds that incorporate water molecules into their crystalline structure through a process known as hydration. These water molecules are typically present in a fixed and well-defined ratio to the salt, forming a distinct hydrate compound. The inclusion of water can profoundly affect the physical and chemical properties of the salt. The formation of hydrate salt occurs when an anhydrous or water-free salt reacts with water vapor in the air or through direct contact with liquid water. This results in the salt molecule incorporating water molecules into their crystal lattice. The number of water molecules associated with each salt molecule is often expressed as a ratio in the chemical formula of the hydrate. For example, copper sulfate pentahydrate CuSO4 5H2O consists of one copper sulfate ion associated with 5 water molecules. The water molecules are an integral part of the crystal structure and they can be removed through heating or other dehydration methods. Hydrated salt find application in various fields. In chemistry, they are studied to understand the principles of crystallography, the nature of chemical bonding, and the effect of water molecules on compounds properties. Additionally, some hydrate salts are practical uses such as serving as disinfectant or in pharmaceutical formulation where controlled water release is important. In conclusion, the study of hydrate salt contributes to a broader understanding of chemical reaction, material science, and the intricate relationship between substance and the surrounding environment. Now, let's move to the objective. Our objective is to find the amount and percent of water in a hydrated salt.
Hi, now let me explain about the theory of gravimetric analysis. Gravimetric method is a quantitative analysis technique that determines the amount of an analyte by converting the analyte to some product where the mass of the product can be measured. So here is the break of the process, which are sample preparation, precipitation or precipitate, digestion, filtration or washing, drying or igniting, waving and calculating. Here are some key points to remember about gravimetric method. The first one is gravimetric method is a simple and straightforward technique that can be used for a wide range of analytes. It requires accurate waving and careful control of experimental conditions to ensure accurate results. It also can be time-consuming, especially when the sample with low concentration of the desired component. Let's move to volatilization. So what is volatilization? Volatilization is a method in gravimetric analysis in which sample is heated to volatilize substance that can easily evaporate. The difference in mass before heating the sample and after heating the sample will be taken. This mass can be used to determine the percentage of the volatilized substance. Next, let's move to the methodology of gravimetric method. Okay, the first one is we have to measure the mass of the hydrated salt sample. Here we use copper sulfate hydrate as the hydrated salt. To measure the mass of the hydrated salt sample, we have to use an analytical balance for accurate measurement. And then heat the hydrated salt sample in a crucible to a constant mass. The temperature required varies depending on the salt, but it should be high enough to drive off all the water but not decompose the anhydrous salt. Use a Bunsen burner or a furnace for heating. The next step is to cool the crucible and sample to room temperature, and then remeasure the mass. This mass represents the anhydrous salt remaining after water evaporation. And the last step is calculate the percentage of water. To calculate the percentage of water, we can use the formula above.
Hi, my name is Iqbal Musakim and I'm going to present the results obtained. The mass of crucible plus lead is 42.6990 gram. The mass of crucible plus CuSO4 as H2O after first heating is 41.3267 gram. The mass of crucible plus CuSO4 as H2O after second heating is 41.3066 gram. The mass of crucible plus CuSO4 as H2O after third heating is 41.2858 gram. The mass of crucible plus CuSO4 as H2O after fourth heating is the same as the mass of the third heating, showing that it reached a constant mass. The initial temperature of CuSO4 as H2O is 31 degrees Celsius and final temperature of CuSO4 as H2O after adding water is 35 degrees Celsius. By knowing the mass of copper-2 sulfate and the mass of water, we can calculate the number of moles for each element and using the simplest mole ratio to find the ratio of moles of copper sulfate to moles of water in the compound. Based on the results, the ratio shows that in the chemical formula of the hydrated salt, for every 1 mole of copper sulfate, there are 5 moles of water molecules. The color of CuSO4 as H2O heat without cover is white-green and the color after heat with cover is white-yellow. The color changes attributes to the loss of water during the hydration and reabsorption of water. Lastly, we can calculate the percent of water in hydrated salt. The percent of water in hydrated salt is 62.11%.
Now I would like to explain the discussion part of this experiment. From the entire experiment, the percent of water in a hydrate salt can be used to determine the mole of water in the molecular formula of the salt. There are also errors that might occur during the experiment. Errors that might occur is that the water molecule will reabsorbed instantly after the hydrate salt was heated. In order to prevent this, the lid of the crucible must be opened and closed. And also, while cooling the sample, it must be placed in the desiccator to prevent the reabsorption of water. Hydrate salts have many functions in our daily life. One of it is that hydrate salts such as Epsom salts were used as healing baths, as Epsom salts believed to have curative properties. And also in the industries, hydrate salts were used to produce textile, rubber, paper, and also glass. And lastly, hydrate salts are also used as water softening agents in plumbing to prevent pipes from clogging. The conclusion for the entire experiment is that the percent of water in CuSO4 5H2O is 62.11%.